Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
I love it. I love it when the guests be knowing.
Listen, One Doc.
It's your girl, VD, and Foreign's the fiancé is on hiatus. So we have another special guest.
Hey.
He is the pop culture connoisseur.
Stop it.
He's the host of the Classic Manny podcast and overall good vibes.
Oh,
It's Manny.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Listen,
I think it made perfect
y'all.
sense. I know it made perfect sense to me. You've been so supportive of the podcast and like just generally good vibes, and so like I thought, you know what?
Right back at you both as well.
Stop.
Love y'all, honestly.
So today we're drinking, and I surprised you. Well, I am about to because you actually don't know what we're drinking. Yeah. We have two options. I didn't know if they were going to have cups in this studio, so I bought some canned...
The eye contact is killing me.
I bought some canned cocktails. Foreigners likes to judge, but it's whatever.
No.
So one is a Cosmo, and one is a Passion Star Martini. You can choose first because you're the guest. I will have either.
No, ladies, come on, ladies first.
No, go on. And men just before. Go ahead.
You know what?
Go ahead.
You know what?
Okay, pick a hand, any hand. Hold
Okay.
on. Hold on.
I'll let you do the...
Okay, go on. Pick a hand.
I'll pick your rights.
Which one's my right now? This one.
Yeah.
There you go. Cosmo, baby.
You know what? That's what I want to do in my spirit as well. So, you know, the spirit is one. Let's be popping it. I know that's right. Come on.
Come on, ASMR. I love that for us.
Should just slept.
Delightful.
Was it M&S, right?
M&S, come on.
Oh,
baby.
they get it right all the time.
Yeah.
They get it all the way right.
Every time.
No, I love M&S.
So today's documentary is called Girl in the Picture.
Shy.
Yeah, and it's wild. Like, I'm going to start off with a trigger warning because it's mad. Trigger warning, child abuse, violence, madness.
Yeah.
It's this, you know, if this isn't your thing, tap out now. It's okay. It's okay. There's other episodes to listen to.
But can I say,
You can.
you know when people watch true crime, why I did not prepare for stuff like this? Because I watch true crime on YouTube and podcasts, all kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, true crime is not going to be good
But
regardless.
but then some people are like, they listen to the podcast, but it's not for those kinds of documentaries, it's for the other ones. So it's like sometimes I just say to them,
the
listen,
mild ones. Okay.
it's like, just in case, if this ain't for you, it's fine, it's okay. I don't take offense, just tap out now, yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So this documentary opens up with the discovery of a human body. Like,
Hi.
we really get right into it, yeah. 3 guys are driving on a road, they see some debris, and they see this body nearby. And it's the body of a young blonde woman. So they call an ambulance and they take her to the hospital,
Yeah.
okay? Her husband, whose name is Clarence, he comes and he says, oh, that's my wife, right?
Yeah.
He says, that's my wife, Tonya Hughes, right? He says that she's a stripper, she has a son named Michael, and they had that son together, okay? Clarence is a lot older than Tonya. And that in itself is not strange. I mean, it's a bit strange, but that coupled with the weird vibes that he gives is very strange, okay? So to be honest, like, when Tonya gets to the hospital, she's alive, but she passes away, right? But before she passes away, the doctor is like, actually, there's bare bruises on her, and that's just kind of strange. Like, something doesn't add up, right? Cool. So as we mentioned, Tonya worked at the strip club. So upon hearing about her passing, the girls that she worked with are like, okay, let's try and find her family so we can let them know that she's passed, yeah? And so it's weird because I wouldn't the husband be like, hey, yeah, I let the family know, right? Right. Okay. So anyway, they tell this woman, they find her mum, and they tell the woman, like, oh, you know, like, your daughter passed away. And she's like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, my daughter died 20 years ago when she was like 18 months. And I was like, huh. So now they're like, okay, so this person that died isn't actually Tonya Hughes. Yeah. So the point of this documentary is like to figure out who this girl is. Bearing in mind, la 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 la, add into the playlist.
Come on.
So I keep saying that ever since I have not since once added anything to that playlist. I'm going to. I need to find it first.
Yeah.
So bear in mind, everything that's happened so far has happened within the first 3 minutes. I kid you not. You're only 3 minutes in, and all of this has happened. Yeah. So throughout this documentary, we get interviews with people who knew Tonya, and we're trying to basically piece together her life. And at one point, it's like in the documentary, I'm like, are we even ever gonna know? Like, at one point, I was like, I don't think we're gonna.
Just too much.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think we're ever gonna find out, but we do. So hold on, hold fire.
Oh yeah, hold your horses.
hold your motherfucking horses. Yeah, we find out. So we meet Nancy. And Nancy met Tonya in 1989 at the strip club where they worked. And they're really close. Like, she goes on about how close they are. And it's kind of cute, right? So she met Clarence, who was Tonya's husband, and Michael, who was her son, when she met Tonya. And she tells us that Tonya loved Michael so much, and Michael loved Tonya so much. And like, he didn't really seem to fuck with his dad, and he's a baby at this point, considering. Yeah.
But they be knowing. They know, child.
Babies be knowing. Babies be knowing, yeah. So he didn't fuck with Clarence, yeah. And also Clarence was weird because he wouldn't let Tonya and Michael go out by themselves. He would always have to be there. Yeah. Which is weird. Yeah. And Nancy is always like, like Tonya had bare bruises on her all the time. So the implication is that Clarence is abusive. Yeah. Trash. Okay. So he also takes out a life insurance policy.
That's never good. That is never good.
When has that ever been good? Like, and can you just take out life insurance policies on other people? Is that a normal thing to do?
I don't even know. But I said, what is going on here?
I said, probably know exactly what's going on because it goes on.
Oh, listen.
So, like, when Tonya finds out about the life insurance policy, she wants to escape. Like, she's kind of like, this is fucked. Because obviously she also knows, that this is not good news. Yeah. So she wants to escape, but she can't leave Michael. And it's like, Clarence knows, if I have Michael, Tonya's not going to leave. Because there's no way, Tonya's going to leave Michael.
Neglect her child.
Exactly. Oh, what a lovely lady. What a shit, man.
Oh, listen. 2-pack of ass. Silly man.
Like so many things in history can be boiled down to just a shit man.
Can I just say, you know the 3-minute mark you spoke about, I was like, if it's just a 3 minutes, then we are down for a crazy ride. Because like, what was going on? Like, there was just too much happening about that. It makes sense. But as it goes on, like you said, it makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just kind of like, okay, like, cool. I think it was a really well done documentary.
Absolutely.
And it was long. But it made
engaging.
sense. Yeah, it made sense. It wasn't like Netflix normally do this thing where they just waste time. It's like someone said to them, here, the more money, the more minutes, the more money.
Could have been 30 minutes, but you made it 2 hours.
Exactly. But this one, it actually made a lot of sense. I said, okay, cool, I hear it. I'm not going to get onto you today, right? So Nancy is proper sad. You can see Nancy's still affected by the fact that Tonya's died. And it's not even just like my friend is dead. It's like my friend isn't even who I thought she was. So it's like you have your grief, you have your confusion. It's a very shit place to be.
That's both.
Just like that. Pow. So now we're in 1990 and Michael gets put into a foster home because Nancy, shout out Nancy, contacts the Department of Human Services. Michael's 2 at the time and we meet his foster parents, Merle and Ernest Bean.
They warm my heart.
They are so
They're
lovely.
So beautiful.
Have you seen Dear Zachary?
No.
They remind me of the grandparents from Dear Zachary, like the same kind of vibe, just loving.
Just so warm.
Warm. Yeah. Good people. Yeah. So Michael's with them for 4 years and Clarence tries to get him back that whole time. And we see a clip of him in court.
My son is punished for wanting to see his dad. Locked in his room and his toys are taken away and he's told that his dad's a mean man. We cannot allow removal of child from a non-proven abusive home due to a wet diaper or perceived lack of affection.
Clarence says, that he's in a non-proven abusive home. So not even in a lovely, safe, loving home. He's saying, the home might be abusive, but low-key you haven't proved that it's abusive. So give me back my son.
No, what kind of... That man is scary. He is so scary.
Terrifying.
No wonder the child didn't like him. How would he like him?
Like, at this point, he's terrifying.
Yeah.
When we get to...
Yeah. It just gets worse.
I said, nah.
Yeah.
He was that, and the thing is, Clarence is trying to say, like, my wife died and I was going through a rough time. I hear that, I hear that. But then also, you're actually abusive and you're actually mad. Yeah. So, like, it doesn't matter that, not that it doesn't matter, but that's not the reason that you're, do you know what I mean?
I agree with you on that.
So, I was so annoyed at this whole documentary. I was like, none of any of this had to happen. If one person did their job right, we didn't have to be here. We wouldn't be here.
You know what? They touched on something I think I'm going to touch on in a bit anyway, where it's like, it was, the woman said something, and for them to actually take action, they said, no, that's not the case. I'm vexed all over again. I'm angry.
This is what I'm saying. God. It's like, I'm getting riled up.
Yeah.
Proper riled up.
But I feel like it's a common issue when you watch these true crime documentaries, that the neglect from like the police, the childcare. I feel like they just don't do their job. What are you getting paid for?
And this is what annoys me about true crime, because it's like, what's the point of doing these documentaries if we don't learn from the past documentaries? What's the point? Then it's just entertainment, and that's fucked. Do you get what I mean? Like, what's the point?
I agree with you on that.
It just drives me insane.
Yeah.
So Merle and Ernest tell us that Clarence has visiting rights, and because of this, like, Michael had to go and see Clarence, but he never ever wanted to go. Like, he hated Clarence, and that's how I know Michael's good vibes, So the Department of Human Services, they do a paternity test. They don't go into why they do it. They just randomly say, oh, hey, we're doing a paternity test.
It's the Holy Spirit.
Well, there you go, because he does not fail, right? He does not fail. So they do it, and it turns out Clarence isn't even Michael's dad. So his parental rights are terminated, yeah. And so now Michael doesn't have to go see him. But then Clarence, the madman that he is, starts stalking the Merle and Ernest Beans. Right, so let's put that on pause for a second, okay? Because put a pin in that, remember that, yeah?
Yes.
The police get a call about a man who was found in the woods tied to a tree. Now...
Hey,
it seems like this is unrelated.
But it's very related.
They are brother and sister, yeah. Like, it turns out that this man found in the woods, yeah, is the principal at Michael's school.
How random.
And the story goes that a man came to the school, he shows his gun on my hip, yeah.
Okay.
And then he says...
Goodbye.
He says... help me get Michael. Basically, it doesn't say help, like get Michael, basically, yeah. He threatens to kill the principal. I don't know about you, I don't know about me, but I would not die over this.
I can't lie to you.
If someone has come with a gun,
when someone's bought a weapon,
a firearm.
I'm very sorry, but we're not on this together. It's not High School Musical. Hey, listen,
like. So he kidnaps Michael and he also takes the principal. Yeah. He makes the principal drive his truck to the woods. Clarence, so spoiler alert, this was Clarence. Clarence handcuffs the principal to a tree and takes his truck and then takes Michael as well. And fortunately for the principal, someone finds him and frees him. This is so disrespectful. Oh. I was at work doing my job and you tied me to a tree. Oh. Are you all right? Are you okay?
As if it's a destiny, like, going to tie
Do you not rate me? It's so rude. You didn't even...
I shouldn't be laughing, but it's just so mad to fathom. Like,
it's
how?
So disrespectful. Like, you didn't even like drive off and then I had to walk home. No. You tied me to it, so I could have died here.
And that would have been like a rare animal. What's going on?
Nah, I said no. That's so fucking rude. Yeah. I mean, it's all rude, but that's rude. That's disrespectful. Yeah. So now we meet Joe Fitzpatrick. He is a special agent with the FBI assigned to investigate this kidnapping. And again, at this point, it's like 20 minutes into the documentary. All this stuff hasn't happened. Netflix have really been going boom, 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 yeah. So Joe is really feeling himself, yeah. He's like...
You fight more crime in New York City on the way home than you do here in Oklahoma City. We don't have that many kidnappings in Oklahoma, but if we had a kidnapping, I knew it was coming to me.
You fight more crime in New York City on the way home than you do in Oklahoma. So he's basically saying that, like...
No, that invitation.
That's how he sounds. So the thing is that, like, did you used to watch... there's this crime show, yeah, and it's about this detective, and it's called, like, Joe Kenda, or someone Kenda.
What's that thing about?
He's some, like, old white man. He looks like this guy. Maybe his name is not Joe. Maybe I just got that from this Joe. But his surname is Kenda, yeah, and he looks like this guy, and he's very, like, oh, yeah... I'm that guy.
Was it like in the early 2000s?
Probably.
Because if so, I've got a fake memory of that.
Yeah, and it's like, I was just like, bro, I'll put him on our Instagram. I literally was just like, nah, this guy's giving Joe Kenda, yeah. But very like up himself, but also like I like him because he does good work. So
as it goes on.
Yeah, exactly. We'll allow him. Yeah. So there's not really that many kidnappings in Oklahoma City where this happens, but if there is, you better bet that Joe's on it. Yeah, he's gonna do his thing. Okay.
That's right.
So we learned that Clarence was trying to collect on Tonya's life insurance policy, of course. He had to give... This is why keep being dumb, yeah? Keep being the architect of your own downfall because it works,
I agree with that.
So in order to collect the life insurance policy that nobody forced him to take out, by the way. Unprovoked, yeah. He had to give a social security number, yeah. And so when he did that, it came back with the name Franklin Floyd.
Yeah.
So Clarence is Franklin, but Tonya is still Tonya. Right. Franklin... That's what we're going to call him now. Yeah. Has bare aliases and he's been in prison bare times. And how many times we're going to go through it all? So,
we need to...
In 1962, he abducts a 4-year-old girl and he rapes her. He's 19 at the time.
Yes.
1963, he robs a bank. 1972, he's released to a halfway house. 1973, he attacks a woman. Yeah. He's arrested and he gets bail, but he doesn't show up in court for trial. So since 1973, he's been on the run. He's been a fugitive.
But how? Like, I want to know how. Did it allow him to go for that long?
Was no one looking for him?
I can't. There's a little bit of white privilege right there.
It doesn't make any sense to me because even like we hear all these like news clips and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, he was so good being on the run." I said, "Was he good being on the run, or was law enforcement shit?"
Gosh, and you know what it is? I feel like the sentencing for like rape, child abuse, I feel like it's too short. Like someone like that should have been in jail forever. Like,
why are you out?
My personal opinion.
Well, like why did you even get bail?
I don't understand that at all.
It's not like this is your first offence. This one that you attacked a woman, that came after you robbed a bank. That came after you raped a child, and they gave you bail, and they never came back and said,
it seriously for
charge it to the game. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, it's not that he's some master manipulator. You literally just didn't do your job.
And what about this thing about states having different
jurisdictions?
Law? Yes. What are your thoughts on that?
It doesn't make any sense to me because then it becomes a competition about like, oh yeah, no, this is my perp.
I agree with you on that.
This is my case, or this is my, and it's like, who's this serving? No one.
Oh, Jesus.
Piss off again,
Jesus Christ.
Of Nazareth.
Nazarene.
So Michael being kidnapped, again, architect of his own downfall, praise the Lord. Michael's kidnapping brings attention back to Tonya's hit and run case because now Michael is the child of a lady who was killed in a hit and run and no one knows what happened, right? So it's all over the news and like more people are seeing it over the country. Now we meet Jenny. Jenny sees this on the news and she's like, hold on a second, that's not fucking Tonya. That's Sharon. That's Sharon Marshall, right? So Jenny calls the police and is like, hey, you guys are talking about Tonya. It's actually Sharon. So now Tonya is Sharon.
Yeah.
Okay. So we go back to 1984 in Atlanta. Jenny and Tonya / Sharon are besties in summer camp around high school age, yeah. Jenny's like telling us how lovely and smart Sharon was. And I really appreciate this part because like it's giving the victim a voice. It's giving the victim like, we know who she is. She wasn't just this lady who got, exactly. It's like, okay, we get an idea of who like Sharon was. She was nice to everyone, friends with the underdog, and she gets a scholarship to go to Georgia Tech, yeah. And so we get loads of like people from high school who were friends with her telling her that her dad was kind of weird. Her dad is called Warren Marshall, right? So she was Sharon Marshall at the time. Her dad, surprise, Clarence, is Warren Marshall at the time. Okay, so we've got Sharon, we've got Warren. He was really strict and he just gave them bad vibes. And you just know when someone's bad vibes. Do you know what I mean? Especially someone's
the spirit
parent.
tells you.
Yeah. And also he was just so fucking weird. And so like he's the sole parent because Sharon says her mum died when she was 2, but she's responsible for everything. Like she's like does the cooking. She's not allowed to be on the phone a lot. Like she's really like sheltered, but also she still seems like such an amazing person despite her circumstances, right?
I agree.
Cool. So Sharon gets pregnant. And they kind of skim past this, but she gets pregnant, puts the child up for adoption because her dad won't let her keep it, and then she decides not to go to college. Remember, she got a scholarship so that she can take care of him.
How does that make sense? A grown man.
I'm just like, don't have I mean, spoiler alert, he didn't have her, but don't have children,
Spoiler alert, he didn't have her.
Don't have children, if you like as a caregiver, like don't have children in order to be your insurance plan for when you're old.
But I feel like, take it back to our culture. I feel like we love that in our culture, though.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what they know.
A doctor so you can take
care of me. Yeah.
What's this?
That's the whole point. It's like you have more than one child so that you.
I thought it was just us child. I didn't know it was more than our community.
Yeah. The ethnics, fam. Yeah. The ethnics were all the same. It's so crazy to me. Because I'm like, no one actually asked to be here, but now what? Now I'm responsible. I'm your life insurance plan.
Yeah. Gosh. Please.
Okay. Well. I hope the aunties are listening, but they're clearly not. So, Jenny speaks with the FBI agent Joe Fitzpatrick, and he has to tell her that. So Joe has to tell her, listen, like Sharon's dad wasn't her dad, like that wasn't actually her dad. Yeah. So Tonya isn't Tonya, and Tonya is not Sharon. So we still don't know who she is. Yeah. But the year before she died, she changed her name from Sharon to Tonya, and Clarence changed his name from Warren to Warren changed his name from Warren to Clarence, right? Yeah. And they got these names off of these tombstones in Alabama.
Isn't that scary?
Very scary. Very scary. God. Very, very scary. Because I was thinking, why can't they just pick random names? Like, but I guess it has to be attached to a social. Yeah. But then also, you're telling me there's only one Tonya Hughes in the whole of Alabama.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you get what I mean? And it's like, on the tombstone, does it say the social security number? No. So how do you know?
It's true.
How did you...
It's crazy.
Is it me? Am I mad?
No, I feel like there were just so many questions that I don't think was even answered by the time it ended. But even though they did as much as they could,
I'm
still very confused about certain
much.
Things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like as the documentary was happening, I kind of had to be like, okay, like just charge it to the game. This ain't important. Like let's just get to the wider. Do you know what I mean? Let's just get to what we need to get to, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they get married under the new names. Yeah. So that's why when she gets to the strip club where she meets Nancy, that's her husband.
Yeah.
Is that when it's her husband? No, they're not husbands. That's not her husband yet.
No, that's her husband.
I think it's still like that. Let's move on.
But it's very confusing. I can't lie to you. Even when I was watching it, I was very confused.
Because, okay, no, it is. It's her. No. So, when she's with Jenny in the high school, it's her dad.
Yes.
Yeah? And then they change their names. Yes. And then she becomes... They get married, so technically it's her husband.
So is Marshall the marital quote
That's
unquote
the marital
name?
surname.
Yeah, they're going to marry at the time.
Yes,
they're
exactly.
married at the time, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. Because now, thank you, amen.
Yeah.
So now we meet Heather Lane, and she was this dancer / manager at this club in Tampa.
This one.
What do you think about Heather?
That's one that the blonde hair, like a
she was
beige
like,
top, isn't it?
She was saying like this.
Sitting like, I can't lie to you. I think as it goes on, I didn't like her from the first scene in the first place, but I think as it goes on, I didn't like her even more.
Yeah.
She became very judgy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like...
I kind of...
I got it, but I was like, yeah.
I think she's been through a lot. We're gonna get to Heather.
Yes.
She just wasn't here for it. I was almost like, why? I was like, why did you do this documentary kind of thing? Because she's just so over it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, now it's 1988. We're in Tampa, Florida. Bearing in mind, Clarence Franklin, whatever his fucking name is, Warren, has been a fugitive since 1973.
Yeah. So.
Okay, it's 1988. Okay, so at this point, Tonya is going by Sharon. And Franklin, so basically he's still her dad at the point that she meets. Okay, good, we're right.
That will help the listeners because I'm sure they're confused.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna stop doing the names because it's confusing. But basically, they're either father and daughter or they're husband and wife. At this point that they're meeting, what's her name, Heather, they are father and daughter. Yeah. So he's encouraging her to dance at this club to make money, and he's quite literally pimping her out. And I say that because Heather's like, look, we brought her in to dance. Okay, like stripping is not being pimped out. Like, you're dancing, you're earning your money.
A short amount of time.
Exactly. You have like you're working,
and there's
right?
boundaries,
Exactly. And there's boundaries, there's safety, there's whatever. Well, there should be at least, So Heather brings her in to dance, and then she sees her outside the toilets offering to give sexual favors for $50.
For $50?
Because her dad told her to do it.
That man is wicked.
And he even gave her condoms. Like,
I'm fuming. I'm getting angry all over again.
What is the
Just
meaning?
A wicked soul.
What is the actual meaning?
A wicked soul.
So while Sharon is working, so again, Sharon, Tonya, while she's working there, that's when she has Michael, her son. Yeah. Okay. We don't hear about the first child that she had that she gave up for adoption. We don't hear about that child again. So if you're wondering and you're really holding on to, let it go.
I want to know more about that.
There's so much. Let it go. Yeah. We never. This is one of the things I had to say. Do you know what? Cool. Like, let's continue with the documentary because we're not gonna know. Yeah.
You know, I didn't deep the first child. That was not Michael until I thought Michael was the first child until way later.
I watched it twice. It was the second time I was like, what? So what happened to the first kid? Then I was like, was there a first kid? No, but there was because she had the kid.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah. Crazy. So then we meet Michelle. Michelle used to babysit Michael when he was really young, and she was young at the time. She was like 15, yeah. And she tells us about this girl called Cheryl, who was really good friends with Sharon and used to hang around with Sharon and Warren, so like father and daughter at this point, yeah. And Heather thinks it's weird, and she just doesn't think it's safe. Again, everyone gets the same vibes from this guy, but you're telling me the police could not find him. 15 years on the run.
Yeah.
Crazy. So Michelle tells us about this time where like she sees this videotape of Sharon and Cheryl. They're both topless on a beach, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No, I was creeped out.
Yeah.
I think I was creeped out before this, but I think this was when it just got worse.
It gets
for
worse,
me.
Yeah. So he Warren sees that she sees the video and gets really angry and defensive about it, right? And it's like, this is fucking weird because this is your daughter and her friend. So even if you're a creepy guy and you're like looking at the friend topless, like this is actually your daughter as well. And it's like, it's not like, oh, they just did a selfie. Like you were filming it.
And how old was Sharon as well? I can't remember that one actually.
I think they were probably, or she died when she was 20.
Yeah.
So she must have been a teen.
Oh, Jesus wept. He actually went from the cross.
It's
He
like,
went from the cross, child.
When I say trigger warning, like it's actually
in
so
abundance.
fucked. Yeah, like it's actually so fucked. Like when you think about it. Warren gets really angry, and then apparently word gets back to Heather about this video, and she confronts Cheryl. And she's like to Cheryl, what the fuck? Yeah. And it's like Heather comes across as really like bitter and blunt and angry and stuff, but I think it comes from a place of actually caring about them.
Absolutely.
And it's like frustration, like what is wrong with you? Like I've told you this guy's no good, stay away from him.
I think it was wait, is Heather the one that's in the stripper thing, the manager?
Yeah.
I almost confused her with the nanny.
Yeah, no. Michelle is the nanny, yeah.
So I think she's the one that found the video, isn't it? She found
the nanny found the video.
Yes, I remember this, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cheryl's like, oh yeah, Warren was trying to have sex with her and then like she didn't want to and he got really, really violent. And Heather's like, listen, you're in danger, girl. Like, stay away, right? Stay away. And then all of a sudden, Sharon and Warren, they just disappear. They just leave. And you wonder why. We find out why, right?
Oh, yeah.
But not yet. Later. Stay tuned. So...
He's giving radio.
Fam. That's what I feel like right now.
I know, that's right.
I know, right? So that was 1988, okay? Now we're back in the documentary with Jenny. Jenny was the one who was friends with her when she was in summer camp. Okay.
Yes.
So Jenny tells a story... Guys, this bit.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If you're driving, pull over. If you're pulled over, get out of the car.
Whiskey, pull over.
Go and sit on the floor. Literally.
Yeah.
Sit on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Sit on the floor right now, because then you can't fall. So Jenny tells us about this time that she stayed at Sharon's house in high school. Okay. Sharon has sexy lingerie that her dad had bought her.
It's creepy in itself.
And Jenny is kind of like, okay, that's weird. But then it gets really, really disturbing. And again, I'm just going to reiterate the trigger warning. Warren comes into the room with a gun.
Yeah.
and he points it at them and he's screaming at them. Meanwhile, they're in the middle of changing. It's like a sleepover. When you go sleepover with your girl's house, like they're just, and then so Jenny's kind of like holding her clothes up, like, and Warren's just laughing. And she describes it as a maniacal laugh, right? And then he says that he'll be back and he walks out. Also important to point out that they don't have doors in this house. Yeah. They have like curtains on the thing. And I mean,
such an invasion of privacy to me. I can't lie to you.
Shout out to Cardi. It literally is an invasion of privacy.
I love that album, by the way.
It literally same. Has she had albums since then?
No.
Interesting.
What is obsessed with just one album and a few mixtapes?
Wow. And features.
Yeah.
But so like there's the privacy issue, yeah. But then I was just like, bro, like this is a fire hazard. Like there's a reason we have doors and there's a reason.
I didn't even think about that.
I was like, Ross, literally, it's not even like, oh, there's just no door. Yeah. You have now material that can be engulfed in flames. Yeah. And spread the fire throughout the house.
Instantly.
I was like, okay, so you're a creep and you're also very stupid.
He clearly lacks sense. He's lacked sense from the get-go.
He likes everything good in this life, yeah. So Sharon's response to Warren's like outbursts and stuff is just to laugh and say, oh, that's just daddy. He's being silly.
Yeah. Because you'll be conditioned to thinking that's normal.
Exactly. And also trying to make it like, oh, it's not weird, like, relaxed and be, oh, God. So at this point, to camera today, to us, Jenny is crying. Yeah. And I just know that she's about to say something horrifying.
And so it was.
Yeah.
So he changed and then he came back. And he still had the gun. And he ordered me to lay down on the floor on the sleeping bag and put a pillow on my head. And I did. And he raped her again. I was in the room.
Like, I have no words. Like, how can someone be so deranged, like so evil? Like, even looking at Jenny today, it's like it happened yesterday.
Yeah, I cried of hours. Fam. I was like, how wicked can somebody be? I think as it goes along, I got even more emotional.
Yeah.
You tell them why.
It's so like, you should watch Dear Zachary.
I'll watch that.
Oh, I wept at Dear Zachary.
So that one a document? So is that, what is it?
It's a documentary.
Okay, I'll watch that.
It's on YouTube as well. I'll send you the link. Yeah, it's. Oh.
Hey, yeah.
God.
He's like at the same time.
Oh God, I could cry right now.
Yeah.
But so Jenny is like hysterical. When I say hysterical, I don't mean in the like patronizing sense of the word. No. I mean like she is besides herself, literally bawling like, and she's just like she never said anything to anyone. And it's terrifying being so vulnerable and not being able to help your friend, but then being too scared to say anything. And it's such a scary place to be. Jenny even tells us today, she's like, look, like that night changed me. Like I was a different person.
No, why wouldn't it? Yeah. No, when I said how, like even for her to sit there today
and relive it.
Oh, it's not made me sad. It was when, what's her current name at the time? The babe that passed away.
Sharon.
It's when Sharon told her, you're fine. Like she was
consoling her.
But she was consoling my heart. Yeah. No, I cried even more. I said, oh my God.
And it's so sad
I'm a Cancer. I'm very emotional.
It was so sad because it was like, two things, yeah. Like one, this is so normal to you that like, it was just so, you didn't even, it was just like and then two, like she's such a lovely person that her instinct was like, oh, it's okay, you're fine. It's okay. It's okay.
Else.
Like, man, and no one there to protect her. I could get worked all
over again.
Nah. So now we learn about this neighbor who knew Franklin in the 70s and has a picture of Franklin with Sharon.
Oh.
And that is the girl in the picture. This is the picture.
That picture?
This is the motherfucking picture.
I've never seen a picture tell 1,000 words like my life.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
God.
And again, I'm provoked. Who told you to go and take these pictures? If not for the picture, would we be here? Anyway, thank God that we're here.
It's true,
Such a dickhead. So Joe, the FBI agent, is like, he couldn't possibly be her dad. Yeah. Franklin could not be Sharon's dad.
Yeah.
Because he was in jail when she would have been conceived. He did all the maths. I'm not redoing it yet. But he was in jail when she would have been conceived and born.
Yeah.
So now it's like, fuck. So how did he get her?
Damn.
He abducted her. We know that in 1962 or whatever it was, he raped and abducted a girl. He did the same thing this time and he kept her. Yeah. So we know that she's not Tonya. We know that she's not Sharon. Who is she?
Yeah.
Who is she? Where does she come from? Where is that family that lost their daughter?
Yeah.
So stressed out. Meanwhile, Michael's still missing. So it feels like this documentary is going all over the shop, but I promise you, like when you watch it, it's done really well.
It working backwards, right, to get to the beginning.
Yeah, it's basically. I love when it does that. They start from the beginning. There's like, how did we get here? Yeah. And it kind of like goes back and forth and stuff. Yeah. So Franklin renews his driving license under his Warren Marshall alias, right? So when it's being delivered, it's actually an FBI agent dressed up as a UPS guy. Yeah.
Yes.
And they arrest him on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay. They
Beautiful
say,
scenes.
Beautiful, incredible scenes. Yeah. I love this game. Yes. Yeah. So Michael's not there. And the neighbors say they haven't seen him with a little boy. There's no evidence of Michael anywhere. No toys, no nothing. So like, at this point, like, you know where this is going.
Fishy going down.
You know where this is going, and it's really, really sad. But Franklin says, and again, Franklin, you just fucking idiot. Like, could you not, just like, you've already done your crime, you've crimed. Don't you want to minimize the crime by just letting us know where Michael fucking is? He says that he left him with a rich family and that he's still alive. Where did you see a rich person? Would a rich person stop for you? If you look at this man, he does not look like, he looks like how he is.
Yeah. Stupid.
Stupid. Yeah. And you just think to yourself, like, bro, like, what? So what? Where did you find this rich person? Where's the agreement? You just left him with a rich person.
It's not realistic.
Shut the fuck up. You're wasting our time.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Oh, I'm so annoyed. So they want to charge Franklin with the murder of Michael because they're assuming that he's dead, yeah? But they know their chances of winning that case are very slim because they haven't actually found Michael, so he could actually be alive, right? So they charge him with kidnapping, carjacking, using a firearm during a carjacking. Just hell, you know how they love to wrap up the charges, yeah?
But I respect it because they have to make sure that he's secure.
Yeah, you're not going nowhere.
Prison.
You're not going nowhere.
So I respect it.
I respect it a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
So Franklin decides to defend himself.
Sorry. It is just so dumb.
Have you seen that guy recently in the news that's defending himself?
No, I've not seen that.
I don't remember what his name is. Someone out there knows. Please tweet it to us. Yeah, 2 Girls 1 Dog. I think he was charged with like driving into a crowd full of people, and I think some people died.
Where?
In America.
Oh, hell
Where
no.
else? And then he is defending himself, and he was like arguing with the judge. I saw a TikTok of it. I'll send it to you if I find it. But like, this is what it was giving. Like, you trying to defend yourself, yeah. Like, you're actually a mad person. Yeah. But continue, because obviously it's not going to work out for you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he has apparently like hybrid representation. So like, you have a lawyer, but you can represent yourself. Fuck them lawyers. He literally was the only one talking, rambling, going on and on and on. Jenny gets to testify against him, and it's like she goes into detail about it. But it's just so, I'm just so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. Look at him in the face and be like, "Fuck you, bitch." Yeah. That's not what she says, but basically that's what she says. Yeah.
Should have said that, to be honest.
Exactly.
I support it.
Right. So he is found guilty of everything. Amen. Hallelujah.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah. So he's sentenced to 52 years in prison without the possibility of parole. He is pissed.
Mr. Floyd, what do you think? You in Oklahoma, you son of a bitch. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Mr. Floyd. Fuck you.
He's like, fuck you, fuck Oklahoma.
No, that real footage of
fuck you, fuck Oklahoma, fuck. I said, yeah, fuck you too, motherfucker. Yeah, I love this game. Reel it up. Too. Literally.
Successful game.
Successful. So the principal's truck that he stole gets found. This is so fucking weird.
Oh, God.
This is so fucking weird.
Lord.
It's like everything aligned. It's just like, it's just a shame that it had to get to this point where it had to align.
I agree with you on that. So
they find the truck, yeah, and then under it, taped to the exhaust pipe, was an envelope. We're gonna get into the envelope. I don't know if I've told the story about when I got my exhaust pipe stolen on this.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
No, please just repeat for me, because what happened?
I was living in Manchester, yeah, and I had a car. This was my first car ever, yeah. And so one day, I'm trying to go to the hair shop, yeah. So I put on my engine. And it's like, it was making some crazy noise. I said, nah, this is wild, yeah. I was looking around, is someone going to help me? No. Anyway, I drove it like that. I went to the mechanic and I said, yeah, something's going on with my car. Yeah. This guy does the mechanic thing, you know, when they slide underneath the car, yeah. He did that and he started laughing. Like, he was like cracking up.
No, but what would they make it worse by laughing? Why would they do that?
He was laughing and I was just like, hello, sir. What's so funny? Share the joke.
A comedy show today.
Literally, I was like, share the joke, yeah. He was like, oh, your exhaust has been nicked. I was like, what do you mean? He was
no,
like,
but why would you do that?
I didn't understand. So he was like to me, okay, if you go to the scrapyard, yeah, all the Manchester people, I had to go to like Old Trafford, yeah, to a scrapyard, and then I had to get a new exhaust. And he was like, yeah, just go there, just get one, it'll be cheap, Cool.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't understand what an exhaust was.
I don't even know it now.
Yeah, I thought it was like a little box thing, yeah. So I go there, they give me this pipe. An exhaust is a pipe that runs from the front to the back of your car underneath it. And my car was tiny, it's like a Peugeot 107 or something, yeah. And I had to put it has like a little bulb thing at the bottom. I had to put it in the boot and then maneuver it. So it went from the boot through to the front passenger window.
What?
And that's how I had to. That's how I had to. I have suffered with cars. That's how I had to drive back to the mechanic so he could put the exhaust back in my car.
No.
I was like, what's the benefit of stealing an exhaust? How much you get for that on the black market?
I would love to know. And how did they get away with it?
How did they get away with it?
Hey.
I said, nah. Why is this happening to me? Am I a victim?
That's greed and wickedness altogether. That's
disrespectful. I was like, are you trolling me?
I'm so sorry to go through that.
Anyway, fam, so when they were talking about the exhaust pipe, I had PTSD. I said, oh, shit. I was like, oh, shit. So anyway, the envelope they found contained obscene images of children.
Yeah.
Pictures of Sharon, pictures of her when she's really, really young, and also pictures of another lady that the investigators don't recognise, right? And just to let you guys know, it turns out that lady was Cheryl. Remember Cheryl from Tampa? The stripper.
The way everything just connected together, that was so crazy.
It was so crazy because your mind is so focused on what is happening right here and now. You forget about what happened, and then that what happened comes back, and you're like, oh shit. Yeah. Yes, it was Cheryl, right? And so Franklin had beaten her, and shot her to death. Okay, that's just, they go a roundabout way, but that's what happened to Cheryl. Yeah, and so her remains were discovered in the woods. Yeah, and they could see the bullet holes in her skull. So it's 6 years after she went missing that she was found. Remember, if we look at the timeline. What happened was Franklin killed Cheryl, and that's why they just fucked off out of Tampa quickly. Yeah, because he knew the police would be looking for a man, his child, and her child. Yeah. He was like, let's stop and get married. So now they are a man and wife and child, and they no longer match the description of this man and his daughter and her kid. Yeah, so fucked. So fucked. That's probably the smartest thing he did, though. This whole thing.
I thought I didn't want to say it out loud, give him that credit.
Yeah,
but
that's probably the only smart thing that he did. Yeah. So Franklin's in jail for kidnapping Michael. He's got his 52 years, and now he's been charged for Cheryl's murder, and he could get the death penalty. Yeah, and that's exactly what happens. I said, praise be to God. He's sentenced to death. Praise God. So this is all good news, but we still don't know where Michael is. Yeah. We still don't know who Sharon is. And I think this is where I'm just like, we're just not going to know. Like, I'm at peace with it now.
I felt so frustrated at this point. I was like, please, I want to almost skip him to the end and find out, but let me just be patient.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
test of my patience, honestly.
I was like, just trust the process. Like, trust the And it wasn't even that Netflix was wasting time. It was just that, like,
it's just a reality situation. Like,
I just want to know. Like, I just want to know, like, who is she? Yeah. So now it's 2002. Okay, so we meet this guy, and I wasn't going to speak about this bit, but I guess it's kind of relevant, I guess. So he wrote the book on Sharon. His name is Matt Birkbeck.
He irritated me a little. I don't know why, but he irritates my spirit.
He's just a bit. Yeah. I think he was just so like blah. Do you know what I mean?
Like, why are you here? You don't belong
just
here.
Like blasé about everything. Yeah. Like he writes a book on Sharon. Yeah. He speaks to Joe, and he wants to find out, like, he basically wants to use this book, so it's kind of like basically like what this documentary is actually doing. Yeah. Like finding out, like, hey, this is her story, what happened to her, kind of thing. And he interviews Franklin Floyd. And so we get into the story of Franklin, his childhood, and honestly, I don't care. Like, I actually don't care. And it's like, spare me the whole, like, oh, my childhood was shit, that's why I did this.
But they do it a lot in true crime. I feel like what I love about this one is the fact that they actually gave us the victims, or the victims. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I hate when they do it for, like, in general, where they always give them a sub story. Yeah. What's that?
I don't care. Because are you the only one that had a shit childhood? No, you weren't. Yeah. Anyway, this interview was a complete waste of time because he denies everything. Yeah. So, like, this guy does the book. He gets to the end of the book. We still don't know who Sharon is.
But you know what it is? I feel like I'm happy that the first one, because okay, something happens again where we start to get the thing. But like, if that one didn't happen, I don't think he would have gotten the truth maybe later. Maybe because it was another time. I was like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. As much as I feel like, okay, your book flopped here because you literally had one job and you didn't succeed.
Not aluminium. Oh no.
What? You had one job, you didn't succeed. Okay. As much as I say that, it's because of the book that we eventually find out who she is, because you get like all the web sleuths and all the people on the internet and everyone going, trying to figure out who she is. Yeah, exactly. So like Matt gets loads of emails from people trying to figure out who she is, and like Matt actually finally gets an email that leads to a break. Yeah. Okay, let's meet Megan. Megan is Sharon's birth daughter. And you think to yourself, huh?
I didn't believe it at first.
I thought that she was the first kid. But then I was like, that wouldn't make sense because Michael would have been older than her.
Because I think because they changed, what's her actual name at this point as well? I'm losing track of the name.
I think she's Tonya. She was Sharon, then she was Tonya.
Yes, because they changed her identity. I can't resemble it, but as I started watching, I was like, okay, it makes more sense.
But then also, we don't know who her daddy is. Yeah. So she could look like her dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was a fraudulent situation.
Yeah, listen. Megan's really lovely.
Oh, yeah.
She's really, it's such a shit place to be because she's really like angry and confused. Like, because she learns about her mum and she learns about her life and her death. And it's just kind of like, oh, peak. When I knew that it was actually her kid, she looked exactly like Michael when she was a baby. Their baby pictures side by side. I was like, oh, that's your brother for real. Yeah. I think that Thingy's genes they just poke through. Sharon's genes just poke through a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, so having Megan's DNA helps because the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children gets a hold of the case, right? So Joe offers to help them with the Sharon Marshall case, and they go to interview Franklin Floyd again. All they want to know from this nigga, is number one, who is Sharon Marshall?
Yeah.
Number two, what happened to Michael? Number three, were you responsible for the death of Sharon? Franklin is chatting, 45 minutes chatting. And then he's crying. He starts crying. Then eventually he admits that he killed Michael. It's like, we knew this already. Why didn't you just tell us this however many years ago? Like, why not just give... And think about his foster parents. Why not just give them some relief?
Yeah. Can I just say, seeing the pictures of Michael throughout the documentary, my heart just broke. He looks like such a happy child despite everything that was happening. That smile, the way he looks at the camera. Yeah. I felt so bad.
And even the foster parents earlier were saying when they first got him, he was kind of a brat. Like, he just only wanted to drink Pepsi and he just didn't want to do anything. And then, like, eventually, like, he kind of, like, became more, like, open and more just, like, happy, like a normal, happy kid. And he had siblings because they had kids. And it was just, like...
Truly heartbreaking, honestly.
Truly heartbreaking. You just didn't have to do all this.
Yeah.
Honestly. So, now we need to know about Sharon, okay?
Yeah.
Franklin says that he met someone called Sandy, and at the time that he met Sandy, his name was Brandon Cleo Williams. They use what his name was or his alias at the time to figure out where in time we are, because that's just how it has to go. Sandy has 3 daughters, and he admits to abducting Sandy's oldest daughter, whose name was Suzanne Savakis. So Tonya, Sharon, her name is Suzanne Savakis. We got there. They're able to get her birth certificate and find her parents, and they're both still alive. Okay, we meet her mum first.
Oh, she doesn't speak.
She does not look okay. She does not look okay. Her name is Sandra, I think. She had Suzanne when she was 19 years old, a few months after she married Suzanne's dad. I'm not gonna lie, her dad was a ting.
You know what?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
That's not my usual preference.
Back in
but
the day,
I said, wow.
I said it's not a bit of me.
I get it.
It's not a bit of me, but I get it. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna lie, because they showed all the pictures back in the day. I said, okay, some of that, yeah. I agree. I was like, okay, Cliff, do you, Cliff? So anyway, they get divorced, so Cliff is single, if anyone out there. And Sandra marries someone else, and she has 2 daughters with him. So she's got Suzanne with Cliff, and she's got 2 other kids, other daughters. And she's going through a lot. She doesn't feel like she can take care of the kids, so she goes to social services. So they say, do you know what? We can give all 3 girls to Cliff. Like, Cliff, if you're down, you can adopt all 3 of them. We don't want to split them up. And Cliff today to camera is like, listen, like, I was 23. I had no job. I just got back from the Vietnam War. I was a bit messed up. Like, I couldn't.
He was traumatized.
Yeah, he's like, I couldn't do it. And so then this is when Sandra meets Franklin, who offers to help her with the kids, like helps to get them back, and like he marries her. Okay, he's a fucking weird guy. This is the same, and this is what we're saying when people escalate. Like, no one just wakes up and is as deranged as this person. You become more and more deranged as time goes by, and as you get away with things that you've done that were also deranged. Crazy, So she can't leave him. She's like stuck. He is on her neck, kind of thing, kind of like how he was with Tonya, right? Sandra gets put in jail for 30 days. Why? Because she wrote a bad check.
But yeah, you get it. There's such an American lifestyle. Yeah, you get it.
She wrote a bad check. Okay. During this time, Franklin takes all 3 of her children. She leaves the youngest 2 in an orphanage, and then he takes Suzanne with her. And Sandra goes to the police, but because they're married, they don't see it as a criminal case. So they say, go and file a civil suit.
I'm looking at you right now.
You just think to yourself, is everybody okay?
They're not. I'm going to answer that for you. They're not okay.
They're not okay.
Their suit is not all right.
Like, literally, are you all right?
It's all right. I'm glad you caught Matthew Johnson. You caught the reference.
All right. I said, nah. I was like, you're serious.
I love it in Nollywood, but it's just sad.
Even Nollywood wouldn't be as crazy as this.
You know, I felt when I saw her real mom, I was like, not you, not the one that neglected her. But when Ashley told the story, I was like, I get it. That man saw opportunity and ran with it.
And just imagine how much you are beating yourself up. Like, you can see that she regrets it to this day. Here comes Heather, the manager dancer at the Tampa Club. So she does not give a fuck about Sandra and her tears. She doesn't even believe that Sandra tried hard enough to find Suzanne. And then she says,
I'm actually very angry at Sharon's mom. I don't believe for one second that because this was back in the day that she couldn't find her child. I was taken in 1976, and for almost 5 years, my mom contacted everyone, her senator, the mayor. She went on TV. She did everything she could, and she wasn't an affluent person, but she spent all of the money she could looking for me. My mother did everything, and I just want to know why. Why didn't she try harder?
And it's kind of like, okay, Heather, like, first of all, you need your own documentary, because what the fuck? How can you just drop that line and then not tell us anything else, yeah?
Yeah.
And also, it's like, I guess this kind of explains the vim that she has for Sandra, but also it's just like, no two situations are the same.
Your story on,
No two situations are the same. And it's like, as much as Sandra, she's been through it, man.
Yeah. It takes away the blame from the predator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, okay, cool.
That was my issue with it.
Yeah. Now you are getting onto Sandra for not looking hard enough. But is the person that took her, would she have had to look?
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like, okay, cool. If we're going to be blaming every single thing, why not the policeman? Why not the people at the Department of Human whatever? Why not?
I agree 100%. 100%.
Piss me off, fam.
No, see how we're getting all over again. We're fuming all over again.
Actually fuming. So the documentary is coming to an end now, and they changed Suzanne's headstone in 2017 from Tonya to Suzanne Marie Sabakis. And we see the ceremony that they had, and it's really sad. It's like happy sad. Because it's like closure.
It's bittersweet.
Yes, bittersweet. That's it. It's bittersweet. It really is. It's sweet and sour. So Megan, Suzanne's daughter, has a son, and she names him Michael.
I can't. That's when the tears are getting to the.
I was like,
oh, it's a full circle.
And then like Cliff, the granddad, he's trying to be in their lives and like be a great granddad to Michael. Sandra, she doesn't seem to want to be involved. I don't know how they got her in the doc, actually. I don't know how they can do that.
No, it's kind of weird though. But
there's a lot that they're not saying.
I want to give grace.
Exactly.
But
don't
you feel like this is your chance to do? I feel like the dad, for example, he wants to do what was right.
Exactly.
Like, okay,
it's like he wants to correct his wrongs, right his wrongs,
But I feel like for her, it's different.
I just think Sandra's been through a lot. And I don't even think it stopped at, okay, cool, he took Suzanne.
No, not at all.
I just feel like
before
life.
And after.
Yeah. She was going through a lot back then because she was writing bad checks. No one's writing bad checks for banter. It's like literally this is your only option.
Yeah.
So, Sandra, again, I want to give grace.
I'm trying to in life in general try to give people grace,
fam.
But
you am I.
I'm
just a girl on the internet.
But can I say, funny enough, when I was watching the documentary, I was actually eating. And I think as I was developing, I was just shouting. I'm very dramatic. I was like, "Hey, God, wow!"
Listen to this podcast, boy. You would know.
So I was telling my mom the story. She's like, "Wait, I've watched the same documentary before, because I think she had watched someone talk about it on YouTube."
Okay.
Yes, I think she's a white woman. She does makeup. Actually, does. I forgot her name. I'm very bad with names. But
Eleanor Neal.
I think so.
Probably.
I think so. Yeah, she has like a thick accent. But when I was watching, I was just like, "This is just so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking." But I was like, "What is going on? What is going on in this world?" I feel like true crime makes me scared of the world. I'm like, "Oh my God,
Jesus
needs
to come. Jesus needs to come soon."
Yeah.
Even walking here, it was dark. I said,
I can't lie. I got out the station. I was like, "Hey, yeah."
But yeah, man, that's the documentary. But now it's time for
the real crime. I think was the beard.
Our segment where we focus on something during the documentary that may not be criminal, but we definitely consider to be a crime. Have you got one? I've got a couple.
I know this exists in the podcast. I was looking so hard. It must be the manager though. I think she is
really
just that aura is a crime for me.
Yeah,
not aura, but I think again, maybe she has a story that will make it make sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. I had to.
What was yours?
The first one, I love him. He's a lovely, lovely man, Ernest Bean. But his hairline was a madness.
Okay. All right.
It was giving
Right.
Shakespeare.
I need to dash you in the bit.
It was given Tobias. It was
not
given
Tobias.
Seinfeld. But he's amazing. And obviously, like, I'm not my hair. I'm not the skin. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So he...
You know what? You know what?
That is not a dent on who he is as a human being. But on a more serious note, the real crime, I think, was when Sandra, Suzanne's mum, went to tell social services about her PTSD and not being able to take care of the kids. And they said to her, go to church, you'll feel better.
Can you imagine? Oh my God, I forgot about that. Can you imagine?
And it's like, do you know what? I hear that, church, Jesus, amen. I love it.
No, I don't hear it.
But also, therapy can help. Like, two things can be true. Like, going to church is not going to fix. No. It's not solely going to fix my inability to take care of my children.
It should be an addition, not what you're relying on. Exactly.
This
is real life.
This is real life. I need help. I'm coming to tell you I need help. yeah, and like my children are taken away from me.
Yeah.
It's like, I know Heaven wants to be like, oh yeah, songs, but it's like, listen, it's so much. We talk about this on the podcast as well. On the podcast a lot. Yeah, friends will always say like, there's so many societal issues. Yeah,
absolutely.
That it's like this is what is the beginning of the issues. This is why issues are even a problem. This is why people are robbing, scamming, stealing.
But I think I have an issue with that. People say, "Oh, go to church." Of course, that should add, as I said. But
yeah, we're not saying don't go to church.
And also, what is her own belief as well? For are you telling someone that is she a Christian?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Jeez,
and like, what do you mean by go to church? Do you mean have a community? Do you mean speak to someone? Do you mean, because all of those things could be things separate from the church. Yeah. It can encompass the church. Great. No one's saying don't go to church, but like that's not what I need that's not all I need right now.
But I think the issue, especially at that time, is the church not believing in therapy. I always limit things to, is an African black thing.
But because that's your sphere, isn't
across
it?
the board, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. And people not thinking like mental health is actually your health. Yeah. Like, if I break my leg now, no one's going to say, oh, just run a bit. You're going to be fine. Oh, just jump on it a bit. You'll be all right. No, you're going to say rest and recover. Okay, cool. Same thing with my mind. My mind is part of my body. It's like part of my
mind is so
who
tender.
I am.
Like, listen, our brains come.
Fam, I'm just like, come on, let's all be serious. So yeah, that to me was the real crime, because I was just like, brother, we wouldn't have to be here if someone actually helped her.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, next week I'll be back with another amazing guest while Forenz is on her hiatus. We're going to be covering this YouTube documentary. It's a YouTube original documentary, because apparently they do that now, yeah?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's called Boy Band Con, The Lou Pearlman Story. It's a very insightful documentary, yeah? It's about the music industry. It's about boy bands. It's about record deals. I'll play the trailer anyway at the end so you can hear it, yeah? But it's a really good documentary. In the meantime, though, where can the people then find you? It's been amazing having you on. I'm really happy. Honestly, I'm really happy that we did this.
No, thank you for having me.
So
I'm
tell
really
the people
grateful. So you can find me, The Classic Man on Twitter, The Classic Manny on Instagram and TikTok, the podcast, The Classic Manny Show, all things pop culture. Yeah, that's it really.
Love that. You can find us as always, 2 Girls 1 Doc on
One
Twitter,
Doc.
Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere 2 Girls 1 Doc. On TikTok, it's 2 Girls 1 Doc podcast. And if you're still here, then I'm assuming you liked what you heard. So just give it a 5-star rating. Just click on the stars, yeah.
Can I just say, you both are doing amazing.
Oh, stop it.
The podcast, the TikTok content, just keep it coming. Listen, podcast, I know how we spoke about that last time. Like, it's not an easy thing, but you're doing amazing. Keep on going. I'm rooting for you. I'll be listening as a fan. Listen.
Look at you want me to cry?
Let's cry, man.
After this, I'm about to go on the train home, fam. Leaving it. No, thank you so much. Honestly, we appreciate you. And same with you. Manny tried to stop his podcast, yeah. He tried to stop it.
I got mad about that the other day as well.
He tried to stop and say, yeah, I'm not doing it no more. Mercy said no. Okay.
I will never let you go. Come on, Cece, man. I love that woman so much.
I know. The voice of an angel. But yeah, so he's back now. So listen to his podcast. Literally everything pop culture. If you get all our references, you're going to get his too. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Anything you want to say to the people then before we go?
Before I play the trailer? Support the pod. Please use the hashtag and be giving us your thoughts on this episode. Thank you.
Honestly. Tweet us, let us know. Because we don't know what you think until you tell us. So. All right then, bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Nicholas.
Don't ever forget that this is show business. Always remember that while you're doing your show, your business could be walking out the back door.
Well, the boy band craze to me was this amazing time in history that changed everything.
We start selling out stadiums, start selling out arenas.
You see a girl pass out in front of you, and you're supposed to just keep performing.
People were selling 1 million records a week, like nobody had ever seen sales like this before.
And what a lot of people don't understand, the man responsible for this was Lou Pearlman.
The impresario behind Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Lou was head of our family. We would have dinners, we would tell him everything.
This guy is the guy pioneering music on the radio.
Things were going great for us. This was going to be our first check presentation.
A lot of money now, this is going to be nuts.
I open up the envelope, I see the check, and oh my gosh, like my heart sunk. I couldn't believe the number I was looking at.
There was this person that I had all this complete trust in. Suddenly, the carpet just got ripped out from underneath us.
You sell almost 10 million albums. I could have made this much working full-time at Starbucks.
Something isn't adding up. Lou's getting paid, promoters are getting paid. The deeper they dug, the worse it got. Never in a million years thought a person that I entrusted my life with could do something like this.
It went from Jolly Lou to like, I don't give a fuck about you right now.
Then to find out how many other people this thing that he did affected.
One of the FBI agents I did a lot of work with, he looked like he had a bank fraud case involving Lou Pearlman.
Webs upon webs of robbery.
Every parent is protective of their child, and I was so angry.
It was all truly criminal.
He would use his power and influence to try to manipulate young performers.
It's not for me to decide, man.
He terrorized me.
If Lou didn't feel bad, then he's a monster.
Lou gave us all the ability to have lives today. I wonder how we could sleep at night.
Lou has all the power.
A man who had everything. He stole my life. Had the world in his palm of his hand.
I just wanted to kiss him.
I gotta take a break for a second, guys. All right? Yeah, I just need to...
The people who are fighting me will be damn sorry.
Come on, cocoa butter.
Oh, we're gonna keep it moisturized. Like,
Come on, lip gloss. My lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is good. I'll be loving it. I'll be loving it. So we can start, yeah? Oh, he's done the thumbs up. Great. Okay. Are you ready?
Let's give him music, you know.
In the garden. Garden. Are you ready? Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay.